Seeing a hot dog cart out in the community selling food is maybe not all that out of the ordinary. But out here on the frozen shores of Lake Winnipeg in the middle of January, that's another matter. Meet Rudy Wall of Cochran Creek Farm, who raises free-range pigs in Manitoba's Interlake. Rudy, how long have you been selling hot dogs from your cart here going ice fishing?
This is my second winter selling hot dogs in the ice.
And we're at minus 25 today. How does that feel?
A little bit like minus 22.
Now, Rudy, you don't only sell hot dogs from your cart, but other cuts of meats from the pigs you raise on the farm as well.
Absolutely, we got a full range of cuts: pork chops, bacon, ribs, everything basically comes from a pig. We got it, tenderloin, you name it.
Well, earlier this week, I visited Cochran Creek Farm north of Petersfield here in Manitoba to learn more about Rudy's pig operation. Have a look. Hi, we're out at Cochran Creek Farm. I'm with Rudy Wall, who runs a pig operation out here just north of Petersfield. A few minutes ago, we saw us out on the ice. He was selling hot dogs, but today we're out at his farm. Rudy, tell me a little about your pig operation out here.
We run about 60, 70 pigs through our system in a year. We're a free-range operation. We heritage and heritage cross breeds that we bring in and we finish and make into products for sale to the public as both a meat hawker and also on our hot dog cart.
Now, how long have you been raising pigs for, and how long has Cochran Creek Farms been around?
We started in about 2010. We've gone through quite a few iterations since then.
Okay.
We ventured into our commercial hog operation about 4 years ago.
Okay. And did you raise another kind of livestock before now?
Before we had egg-laying chickens.
Okay.
And we had goats.
So Rudy, how did you get into this business? What kind of a background did you have in farming, or was there a family background that kind of interested you in livestock production?
I grew up on a small family mixed farm in southwest Saskatchewan.
Okay.
And moved to Manitoba in my early 20s. Did a variety of other trades-related things and came back to the farm about 12 years ago.
Now, do you do it all yourself mostly, or do you have
100%. Myself and my partner, Rebecca McKay, we do all the work. We do all the advertising, managing, selling, everything except the actual slicing and dicing.
And you using what kind of processors around to get your products to market?
So we use a local abattoir, BG Packers,
okay,
in Beausejour, and when the butcher we use is in Lockport, Barron's Meats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rudy, there's a lot to consider when it comes to food production. Now, what's it like running a business like this, raising your own hogs, making your own meats through local processors and getting it to market? What's that process been like?
Well, there's a lot of different ways you can raise livestock, and there's no perfect way and there's no right way.
Okay.
You have to pick a method that's going to work for your environment, for your operation, for your customers, for yourself, how much time you want to put into it, what kind of animals you're raising.
Right.
So all those are considerations. We've chosen to raise heritage animals so that they're a long-haired animal, they can be outside.
Right.
Because we don't have a big barn, we don't have an inside barn to do that.
It's free range, yeah.
It's free range. We've chosen free range as well so that we have a different quality of meat within that. And we've chosen local businesses to do the production of it so we can reinforce the small family businesses.
Rudy, what does farming mean to you, and what is it about raising food that appeals to you? What draws you to this type of work?
Food security, food quality,
okay,
food availability. Those are all reasons that we got back into farming.
Right.
Trying to create or take part in an alternative way of raising food, which really is the way food was always used to be raised before we started large corporate farms, which, although are a necessity in our environment, in our cultural environment, maybe aren't the best solutions for how to produce food. So we wanted to look at other ways of doing it on a small scale, direct to farm, to customers, building a relationship with our community, growing good food for our community is how we feel about it.
Right.
Does that mean sometimes going into areas where they don't have availability of food options to create food options for them? Taking part in farmers markets that are in downtown Winnipeg, for instance, rather than going to larger markets that are in a more affluent area.
Okay.
Having a pay-as-you-go, pay it forward on our cart, on our hot dog cart. We have a pay it forward. Somebody gives me $20 sometimes. That means I can give free food to people who need it.
Oh, nice.
So those are the kind of reasons we got into farming. A better connection between our food and our people.
I imagine having this type of product for sale too, free range, is kind of resonates with a certain customer base too. Do you feel like it kind of makes it more of a marketable product for you?
It certainly does.
Okay.
I mean, some of the reason for free range is practical.
Mm-hmm.
Your structures, your enclosures don't have to be as rigid when the animals have more area to roam in, because they're not as confined, or they don't push the edges.
Yeah.
So some of it's just from a practical standpoint, but it's also practical in that you provide a better meat product for the animals, because they have better exercise, they run around, they have access to sunlight, they get to eat the occasional frog if it unfortunately jumps through, right?
Right.
So all that changes the quality of meat and changes the texture and changes the flavor and all the rest of it. So there's a whole bunch of things to consider. And that's why, like I said before, depending on your environment and what you're trying to produce and who your customer is, will depend on what kind of farm you create.
Right. And seeing them out here today, they seem to be doing quite well.
Oh
actually.
yeah, they love it.
Well, Rudy, thank you for your time. And I feel like with a story like this, it'd be a shame to come all this way out here without eating a hot dog.
No, we
What
can
do you
work
think?
that. Yeah, we can do that for you.
For Glacier Farm Media, I'm Greg Berg, reporting on a minus 25 degree Sunday, enjoying a bit of comfort food on a frozen Lake Winnipeg.